Welcome to Faith and Freedom. For the next few minutes, we hope to inform, inspire, and encourage you as we discuss the legal victories and challenges to your fundamental freedoms and religious liberties. Faith and Freedom comes to you from Liberty Counsel, a civil liberties education and legal defense organization. Join us now as Matt Staver, the President and General Counsel of Liberty Counsel, explains the latest legal issues all across this country in the courtrooms of America. Liberty Counsel is winning the battle for your constitutional freedoms.
Obama's job bill might better be called Obama's job kill bill. I'm Matt Barber, Vice President of Liberty Counsel Action, and joining me in studio is Shawn Akers, Liberty Counsel's Vice President of Middle Eastern Affairs. Shawn, I was thinking the other day, if you took class warfare off the table in an Obama speech, the duration of the speech would literally be about 30 seconds. You would have just you might have him saying, some of his favorite one-liners, let me be clear and other things. But other than that, there would be no substance. President Obama has pulled an election year stunt and is calling now, in order to appease the radical leftist base of his party, is calling for massive tax increases. He says on the wealthy, again using this class warfare. Well, the Associated Press has done a fact check, and as it turns out, President Obama is just pushing the same old failed tax and spend policies that the left has pushed for years, the same stuff of Jimmy Carter that got us into the trouble essentially that we're in right now back in the 70s. Here we see the same old playbook being used. President Obama's election year stunt here, I think, is going to fall flat.
You know, Matt, the old adage is more true now than ever. If you're in a hole, stop digging. And the fact is, the United States is in a $14 trillion hole, and the socialist idea is that the state can fix that. And the way the state fixes that is not by stopping the digging, but by digging ever faster. And that's exactly what's going on here is with the Obama jobs plan, is to actually dig faster and charge people more. Now, when the AP does research on you and finds out that you're a little too far left for the AP, you really have to stop and think about what's going on here. And the fact is here, the AP points out that even outside of the class warfare rhetoric that President Obama thinks is popular with the people, which I would disagree with, even outside of that, the AP has shown, Matt, as you can see by reading the article, that it's not just the wealthy, that this doesn't fit into a class warfare paradigm, that this jobs bill is going to hurt everybody.
Well, in the article, New Government Fees Pepper Obama Deficit Plan, the AP reports, quote, it's not just millionaires who'd pay more under President Obama's latest plan to combat the deficit. Air travelers, federal workers, military retirees, wealthier Medicare beneficiaries, and people taking out new mortgages are among those who would pay for the $130 billion in government revenues raised through new or increased fees. Well, Shawn, that's the AP acknowledging what we've been saying all along, that President Obama is a tax and spend liberal. Here he is trying to put that tax and spend liberalism to work, I think, again, to motivate the base of the Democrat Party and get them behind him. You know, there are calls now for him to be primaried. And so there is great dissatisfaction, not just with independents and certainly conservatives, but his far left is needing some red meat. That's what this is. Well, consider for a minute that this whole idea of class warfare is built on a house of cards to begin with. The fact of the matter is, according to the IRS, that 70% of the tax bill is already paid by the top 10% of wage earners in this country. This is the IRS. This isn't some, conservative organization coming up with this stuff. The bottom 50% pays only 2.9% of the tax bill. There's already a clear disparity here, and that's not even taking into consideration the reality that it is the upper echelon, if you will, wage earners the rich, small businesses, people making over $250,000. These are small mom and pop businesses we're talking about that get painted with this broad brush of the rich. They are the job creators. This bill is a jobs kill bill because it penalizes the producers, the job creators who actually help employ so many people who are out of work right now. So it's a complete misnomer to call this a jobs bill.
Well, it is, Matt. And even President Obama has said in the past the last thing that you want to do during a recession is raise taxes. Yeah. But that's precisely what this does. And it does so in a way that makes sense to all of us that actually have run businesses. Here's the thing, Matt, is if you tax people who are wage earners, it means that they need more help, which means they have to turn either to the private market to find better jobs or to government. When you tax the private market, when you tax mom and pop shops and businesses, it's just a matter of mathematical certainty. They become less able to hire more people. The better jobs become fewer and fewer, and more people have to turn toward government for help. And that really is what this is all about. That's why we have seen under this administration the creation of more government jobs, the single greatest place that our economy has grown, if you can call it that, because that's actually a misnomer. It's not the economy growing through non-producing jobs, but is in the government sector. The government is hiring more. The private sector is becoming less and less able to hire. That's a recipe for disaster. There's been a lot of talk lately over someone referring to that as a Ponzi scheme. But the fact is, when any pyramid-based scheme like that requires an ever-expanding base. And you have to ask yourself, you have to look out a little further and ask yourself, what happens when you've taxed all the job producers into oblivion and everybody works for the government? Well, who actually pays the bills then? Who are you going to tax to pay the bills? And there's nothing left, Matt. That's the problem with these utopian socialist schemes.
Well, and that's exactly what it is. It is a socialist scheme. We're going to talk about it tomorrow on Faith and Freedom. Obama's jobs bill also attacks charitable deductions in favor of big government. And so this is all by design. We need to, do you want your tax dollars going, your hard-earned money going to a federal government that, from an efficiency standpoint, gets about 2% on the dollar, or 2 cents on the dollar, versus, your ability to give to a charitable donation that the vast majority of your hard-earned money is going to go to actually serve people, to help people? Well, President Obama's jobs bill is an affront to charitable giving as well. It discourages charitable giving, and we'll talk about this in greater detail. But the whole point is that this is all by design. This is the creation of a socialist nanny state, tax and spend, and this brings us back to these two kind of competing economic worldviews, if you will, and with a larger federal government, we know as the federal government grows, your individual liberties necessarily shrink, diminish. So this is about freedom. This is about liberty, and we need to have a constrained federal government that knows its place as the Constitution provides, certainly in the 10th Amendment, but throughout the Constitution. It provides restrictions on the federal government. This tax and spend liberalism seeks to dissolve those restrictions and create a federal socialist nanny state.
Matt, that's exactly the formula that the founders set up when they told us that he who is willing to trade freedom for security deserves neither. The fact is that any time that you receive any security from the state, it costs you some liberty. If you want to be completely secure in your home, for instance, maybe there's a curfew. Maybe you're locked in your house and they've got police all the way around it. That's 100% security, but it's also 100% lack of liberty. It's the same thing. Anything that you want government to do for you means you're going to sacrifice liberty to get it. Now, the AP even points out that one of the proposals here is a $4 an acre charge on non-producing oil and gas land. That means you'll be charged $4 per acre for land that doesn't produce you anything.
Yeah.
This is a transfer of wealth from property owners. I was recently talking with David Barton about this, and Matt, maybe we can cover it on a future show, that when we talk about the pursuit of happiness, we mean more than just the fact to hold claim to property. Maybe we can cover that later.
Absolutely. Well, folks, Liberty Counsel is here to protect and defend your individual liberties. Go to lc.org to find out how you can become part of Liberty Counsel's ministry and mission, or give us a call at 1-800-671-1776. You know, how's that socialism working out for you? It's not working out too well for the rest of the country as unemployment continues to rise under the increased size and scope of federal government. We're going to try to rein it in. Get involved. Go to lc.org.
You have been listening to Matt Staver of Liberty Counsel. Our hope is to encourage and inspire you to stand up for your faith, family, and freedoms. We can accomplish a lot when we work together. Get informed and get involved today. Sign up for our free monthly newsletter, The Liberator. We will send it out to you free of charge. Stay informed with our Liberty Alert email update. Just click on the website at www.lc.org or call us at 1-800-671-1776. Tune in next time to learn more about your rights right here on Faith and Freedom.